this meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. Great Island Advisory Committee special meeting, May 15th. And may I have a motion to adjourn to executive session? Mike moves. Jim seconds. All in favor? May I have a motion to go back into open session? Mike moves. Jim seconds. All in favor? Terrific. First item on the agenda, Chairman's report, really quick. I want to thank Mr. Bill Wright here. I want to thank the Coastal Advisory Committee for inviting us to do a cleanup down at Great Island. And I want to thank Bruce. Bruce?
Me?
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Ferguson for joining me down there. And I want to say that I was really excited to help and even happier to see that we had like a half a bag of trash. So that's a good thing. It was a light job, but thanks for including Great Island. Ed?
Okay. Glasses. All right, we're just talk quickly about some requirements from the Legal Traffic Authority. They asked about some signage. I'll just go through them quickly. They had asked for some, say out some rock signs. We're going to work with them on location and maybe a different type of verbiage for that. But that's probably the only one we don't have nailed down or ordered yet. No vessel landing. We're going to put one down by the beach area so that folks aren't coming in off the water. Signs on the dock. They'd asked for no public access, official use only. We are going to put those out on the dock on both sides. We also have met with the fence company. We're going to put a gate there and some extended fences on the wall. So you actually pretty much have to climb onto this fence to get into the, from the boat ramp onto the property. I think that will help us with some access for the summertime. And the beach house, we do have no public access signs. They'd asked for some more down there. So that came from the Legal Traffic Authority folks that have been, the police went down and kind of did a survey of the area where they made some suggestions on where we could improve some of the signage.
When are those going up?
Some that we have right now, but as soon as we get the other one, probably within a week or so, the signs will be here. And we'll work on the stay off the rock signs. That was a little iffy for me where they wanted located. Some other signage, Pear Tree Beach. We have a sign already made up that has all the Great Island restrictions or rules, if you will. So that's ready to go. And Tony has met with Sandy and kind of scoped out some locations on where it's going to go. And we sent you the location. We're going to take another look at that maybe tomorrow, and then we'll get that thing installed quickly.
Can you just let me know where that's going to go?
Sure. Actually, we'll send you the email with all the different locations if you want to opine on those. That would be great.
Well, I just at least want to let the commission know.
Okay. And you want them to talk about it before we put them up, or?
No, I don't think necessarily, but I just want to be able to report on it.
Okay.
Just want to be in the loop.
Barefoot. Sorry. We had Sandy involved. I just want to make sure that somebody knew.
Sandy's the man.
Pear Tree Point signage. There's pedestrian safety signs that we're working on right now with the police department, and we're going to place some just outside the exit from Pear Tree and then down along the roadway too. They'll be yellow, so they'll stand out a little differently than the other traffic signs. Last piece is we've been catching on video and on camera numerous times the coyotes. So they're back out there now, and we all know this is the time of year that they're out and around. So we're going to get some different signage for animals, specifically the coyotes right now, and kind of place them strategically on the island so people that know that, you know, try to stay on the path. We have caught a few folks going on the bridle path via the camera. That kind of makes me a little nervous, so maybe these signage will be helpful. And then in the future, maybe some signs that distinguish a lot of the different animals that are there would be appropriate. And I think that's something that the committee should talk about in the future once you get into and past the RFP phase that you're working on. Asbestos removal on on building 18 and 46, which are the stables, has been delayed. We kind of pushed it off. We have some tenant changes going on at the stables. We wanted to wait till after that person has moved out, and then we'll go into the basement there and do that. That's quite of a large one. We thought it would be okay with her there, but we felt since she's going to leave, we can push it back. The vendor says that they're fine with that too. We'll work with the homeowner at 18 and work with his schedule too. We have that set up also. He was okay with pushing it out also. Landscaper update, we We're into our first full month. They're just getting the hang of the property. So they're out there, they're into their 1 week cut schedule, which is what we asked for. They have a person on the property from 7 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon every day. He's out there working. It's a good interaction for us, letting us know if there's things that are going on or help that he may need. I think that's going to help us keep that island up to a standard that we're expecting. Really nice kid too.
On that, there's someone on site now. Is that something in perpetuity or?
That is part of the contract for the landscaper until the end of November.
Is that weekdays?
Weekdays, Monday through Friday.
Thank you.
Yeah, I actually, the only thing on the signs, and we have to sort of, but one thing the commission does talk about is sign clutter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just we're like so many signs, and no smoke, and no this, no whatever. So we just, I guess my only potential concern would be if we're putting up so many signs where you just pull into the parking lot and then there's just signs.
I had the same comment. I agree with you. You have to be very strategic about what you put up and where you place them, right there. It's important. The damage to number 22 for the water damage, we just approved the cost estimate for the reconstruction. That's going to start in a couple weeks.
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tony was able to push it ahead. It's going to be the bathroom, the closet area, and one of the offices. It's a very small, but it came in around $38,000 for the repair. Our deductible is 10 grand. The insurance company will be picking up the rest of it. That'll get that place back up to living standard.
And Ed, just remind us which building, which house
It is the
that?
Dolphin House.
Okay.
It's as you face the main house, the building to the left.
Well, that was the leak that.
The water leak that we had.
Oh,
Yeah. So we had it all cleaned up, then we had an estimate done for the reconstruction.
So it's not occupied?
It is not occupied right now, there's no living in it. Their
rented
belongings are there. We've moved them out of the way, we're gonna put them back when we're done.
Thank you.
Great Island, Lot 23A, as you're aware, we did not get any bidders for it, for the reasons I had explained previously. Right now, I'm working on the wall design. We had soil borings done last week. I'm working on the design right now with the structural analysis guy. That'll be able to put that into the bid package and eliminate the design build piece of that, at which time I'll put it out. I'm going to give them plenty of time to build this so that they can work within their schedules. Not all contractors are open for a short period of time. It may carry over to next year with maybe the plantings. The structured part will be done. The planting may be done in the springtime of next year, but I want to give them some latitude so that we get plenty of bidders this time, or at least more than one.
And just a little more detail, can paving and other things be done while waiting on that wall? Or is-
The wall is going to hold up part of the road, so I can't do the paving on that.
Got it.
There will be a section, I am paving down in that area this year. There is a section on Great Island that is by the greenhouse as you go in the driveway. That is really, really rough. I'm going to see if I can get my contractor in there to mill out that 200 feet, lay down some driveway, and then get out. I think it'll make it safer, to be honest with you. So if you're anticipating or we'd like to open it up to more than just people walking, I'm trying to make the surface available to that. And finally, the soil remediation part. We are working with our consultant right now to do two things. One, some spot repairs or some spot remediation, and also the remediation of the orchard. And I'll talk about the orchard first. It's a little more than an acre. It's 1.2 acres of surface area that we're going to cover with a foot of soil. 8 inches of natural fill, and then 4 inches of topsoil, and then topsoil seed it and hay it. We're working with the HHR building committee right now, and they put me in touch with their contractor, their project manager, and we are right now negotiating possibly deliver of that fill material that has been tested already and safe to be brought there for nothing to the site. I can't do any work though until after July 15th. It's still within the close proximity of the Eagle's Nest, so I still have a little bit of time, but I'm working with them now on that piece. We're also working with our consultant to do the high-leveled spot areas for remediation also, which is the removal of soil in a certain range, whether it's 10 by 10 or 20 by 20 or 40 by 20, removing the soil, taking it, stockpiling it, and testing again and see if we have to expand. The whole idea is to get us closer to the 10 level that we're supposed to be at for passive recreational use.
And putting that topsoil on the foot, on the acre, doesn't preclude anything that our consultant is going to design for that space, does it?
If you go below 1 foot, there will be some design criteria that'll have to be included. Let's say you were to put piers there and you have to go down 3 feet. Well, that soil would have to be removed and disposed of properly because of the contamination that's there. So it'd be like any other piece on that property.
So we don't want to wait until we find out what our design consultant says, or
The only thing
do anything there.
the only thing that would probably stop me and I'd go a different direction is if you're going to put a parking lot there. And to be quite honest with you, I didn't see any of that in the proposals, and I don't see that use there. I just the idea of putting parking closer and closer and closer to the traffic circle and leaving the island natural and opening up to the uses that you'd want to put over there would be picnic areas. That's what that topsoil and that foot of soil is going to allow you to do. And anything structural after that, we could put together in a plan, whether you build a pavilion, you want to put footings or foundations, those areas, that soil will have to be disposed of properly, that's all. And that's all I have for, if you have any questions.
I have a question just about the first item of the gate to the dock. I'm trying to envision it, it would be similar to just like what's at a commercial marina, where the gate's there, it's a push code, and then it reaches out to the side so that you can't just get around it easily.
You described it perfectly.
Okay,
That's what we had asked for.
Then you mentioned fencing. It's not going to go any, like along that wall, like if you drive down the dock, there's not going to be a fence on top of
No. Like the
or
gate
coming
has up
around.
there has to be a section or two, maybe 10 feet, 12 feet of fencing that gets you away from the gate. If you see the commercial ones, they fan out just a little
Yeah,
bit. And
because like sometimes they fan out almost in a fan, like they're pointy ends on it.
Yeah.
Because I've gone around a couple when I was a kid, but the thing is, I just don't want to necessarily, because that's going to look not great the further that the fence goes beyond the gate. So not only for people walking by, but also there's the sight line from Ziegler's Cove when you're on your mooring, and you can see up towards the stables. And so it's a very beautiful sight line right now, and I just want to make sure that we're thoughtful about putting anything there, because we're a tidal zone. So that fence, even if it's only 10 feet, you can go over that cap and then walk on the brick-brack or whatever, the fill rock that's been put in there by the Zieglers over decades. And you can still get to that gangway. If somebody's going to go through the effort to want to get onto that dock, they're going to get there. So I just don't think, I think we should do what we need to do to make it so that there's a gate that locks, but let's not go, I would vote not to go too much further.
So minimize the effort, but make it safe at the same time. I agree with you. I
If
just
you look
want to
like
keep
the
it
approach
contained.
Tony took with the fence around the pool, we did something that would kind of provided that immediate safety, but we didn't kind of go to the platinum version.
No.
Because it might not be.
It may not fit the needs of us later when we go.
And I'm just saying, like, if you came all the way down the side and then turned the corner to come back by the flagpole or the thing where they could hoist the fish up that's there, that, when you walk back, you can still go over that wall, walk down the side of it, unless it's like a full moon high tide. You can walk down the side of it, walk around it, and then climb up on the gangway and get down that dock. So I just think we shouldn't go to any great length on the fencing.
I'll tell you what we do. We're supposed to get some prices back on what we're going to do. I will get something so you folks can take a look at it, because I think it's important that what I put there doesn't get taken out later. So
Okay.
if
Thank you.
anything,
Thank you.
your input is important for that then.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is discuss the RFP for the master plan consultant. I want to take a moment to thank everybody on this committee for all of your work, just to refresh everybody. We started off with, back in April with an RFQ, and we had 16 firms respond. We had 6 firms that then submitted RFPs. We had 8 firms that did tours on the property, and we conducted over 7 hours of interviews with the 4 finalists. So tonight we discussed. We have some additional questions we'll be reaching out to these finalists with, but to recap on timing, last week we celebrated the 1-year anniversary of Great Island on May 5th, and that's also when we requested funding for the first 2 phases from the Board of Selectmen for this landscape architecture plan. This initiative will establish a long-term vision for Great Island and includes engaging the public throughout the project, planning financial strategies, developing governance models, and identifying funding sources for future capital projects, and addressing the operation and maintenance costs for years to come. So the funding for the phase 1 and 2 will cover creating a vision plan, which is estimated to take about 4 to 6 months, and creating a master plan and concept design, which can take anywhere, this is rough, but 5 to 7 months. Jeff, do you want to go really quickly through what's included in phase 1 and what's included in phase 2?
Sure. So phase 1, the vision plan is going to begin with a project familiarization, so they'll be up to speed on all the work that has already been done, reports, etc. There's going to be public and stakeholder review, and the result of that is going to be a broad vision plan that will be opportunity for public input and review, give us a place to start before we get into the other elements, which will be components of the master plan. And those will include pedestrian, bicycle, vehicle access, buildings, site features, landscaping, paving, infrastructure, coastal areas, and as Monica mentioned, also revenue-generating activities and funding strategies. It's going to conclude then with cost estimates and a phasing strategy and an additional round of public input. And once that has all been completed, then and only then would any design begin.
Okay. So excited that we're moving right along on this, and we look forward to having a decision in the near future and being prepared to go before the RTM for their June 17th meeting. Next up is a discussion on matters related to the committee. As Ed mentioned on tenants, I want to just give you an update that we continue to receive reports from tenants about coyotes on the island, as well as concerns about dogs being off leash, both on the island and on their property, and residents trespassing. One tenant is terminating their lease and another is not renewing, which will leave us with 3 tenants on the island. So we'll have a tenant in the greenhouse, that first building, the first house when you come onto the island. We'll have a tenant in the Villa Dolphin over by the main house, and then the pink house. And those leases, just to remind you, are all expire July 31st of 2025, so a year from now. I want to give you a quick update on filming. We mentioned that once before. I want to thank Jennifer Leahy and Douglas Ellerman for sharing the professional photos that were taken for the Great Island real estate listing. These photos have been uploaded to the Connecticut Office of Film, TV, and Digital Media. This office, among other things, helps companies scout locations for upcoming film and broadcast productions, provides information about filming permits, and processes applications to film at various locations in Connecticut. It's also the resource for locating production resources in Connecticut, including production companies, crew members, and support services. So we talked about getting on this site, and we are now officially on, and we'll see, we're prepared, we'll see what happens. Next item is minutes, and review and approve the special minutes of March 14th, May 1st, and May 2nd. Any changes? edits?
Oh, yeah, I think on the March 13th,
Right.
that Wednesday, I think I was.
The 14th.
I was here for that one.
You were here or you were remote?
I was virtual.
You were, okay. Any other edits, corrections, additions? Okay, seeing none, may I have a motion to approve? Mike moves?
All three?
Yes, all three. Mark seconds, Mike moves, Mark seconds, all in favor? Okay, unanimous, terrific. All right, may I have a motion to adjourn? Mike moves,
Second.
Lori seconds, Bruce seconds, all in favor? Terrific. Okay,